In this video, we're going to focus on styling the text in the canvas. And right now we have these two simple texts here. One is a stroke design, and the other one is just a background default style or the fill style design. So in the previous video, we already covered a little bit about it, but let's start to explore a bit more. So right now, for now, we're going to say font, and I'm going to say font will be 12 pixels, or not even 12. Let's make it 50 pixels. Save that and then refresh. Alright, so probably we need to have a font family style, so we're going to say Arial, save that, refresh. So now we have this here, but there's a lot more that we can do, and basically it allows us here 4 specific values in here, which is, well, let me explain. One is the style, such as italic style or normal style. The next one would be the bold, if you want to have it bold or even thinner. So the boldness of it, or the font weight. Then we have here, of course, the font size. And finally, the font family. So the font family and the font size would be very, very self-explanatory. However, in here, we could do some adjustments as well. So we could say, for example, instead of 50 pixels, we could say extra, and then L, or extra dash large, which would mean a larger font size. If I refresh here, it will not be 50 pixels, but it will get a default item here. So we could say here also large or larger. Save that. There we are. And this is very similar to what we could say the structure of the H1, H2, and H3, something like that. So that is one of the items. Here we're going to the size, and we can of course do just 50 pixels or 50 em. Doesn't matter. Those kind of things is also possible. So let's put it back to 50 pixels, and you can see here, there we are. Next, what I want to show you is, of course, here the boldness or the font weight. So we could say here, for example, bold. Let's save this, refresh. You can see now it starts to change. But of course, we could change as well to bolder. Then it will be bigger, or the font weight will be more higher. Basically, what we could do as well is for the font weight, we could say here, font weight will be equal to 600. And that is basically how the bold works. If you do 400, it should go back to the original state. And if you do 200, what will happen then is you make it a very narrow or thin version, and then you have also one of 300. Save that, refresh. It's hard to spot the real difference. But basically with this, you could say thin as well. Then you get this option here, or I think that is not the real terms. So it's not thin, but it is lighter, sorry. So if I save that, there we are. And that is basically one of these options. It will be narrow in the font weight. So I would say your bolder is one of the most common one. And just, if you don't want anything, you remove the design and then it will be fine as well. So now we have this one, but maybe you want this, for example, in a cursive way. So what we can use here is also italic, which is the style, which will be a cursive or oblique and the normal. So by default, it is normal. Then what we can do here is cursive, which is italic. It's another word for italic. Save. There we are. And if you have oblique, you will see that they're exactly the same. It's very hard to distinguish any differences. But basically, this is one of these options if you want to highlight the text individually, specifically.